The Best of Reddit, October 21, 2019. Science: adolescents who play contact sports, including football, are no more likely to experience cognitive impairment, depression or suicidal thoughts in early adulthood than their peers. Those who play sports are less likely to suffer from mental health issues by the late 20s to early 30s. Top comment: yes, but how does this compare to similar non-contact sports? Politics: Romney says he's open to removing Trump from office, if the evidence is there. Top comment: have you tried opening your damned eyes? LifeProTips: if you have a bad habit of hitting snooze too many times early in the morning, try putting your phone alarm clock across the room instead of on your bedside table. Top comment: I actually have my alarm clock app make me do math problems to snooze the alarm. It's hell, but it gets me up. Which is saying something. Science: working with clinicians from Massachusetts Eye and Ear and Harvard Medical School, EPFL is developing next-generation soft hearing implants, to allow people with a dysfunctional inner ear to hear again. Top comment. Politics: Buttigieg: Trump undermining U.S. credibility, is going to cost U.S. for years and years. Top comment: remember cons losing their minds over Obama's non-existent apology tour? Buckle up, because the next POTUS will have to go on a groveling expedition. WorldNews: Northern Ireland, same-sex marriage and abortion will be legal, UK news. Top comment: note, women are still being jailed in NE for buying abortion pills, so these reforms are much needed. Politics: AMASH criticizes Trump for treating U.S. troops like paid mercenaries. Top comment: do you think the Saudis will pay with a nice clean check? Or just throw some crumpled dollar bills at our feet on the floor like the cheap hose Trump is treating the military like? World News: Turkey and Russia to discuss removal of Kurdish militia from Syrian towns. Top comment: NATO member and Russia teaming up to ethnically cleanse the Kurds. What a fucking disgrace. News: major damage reported in Dallas after reported tornado touchdown. Top comment: I've lived here for 3 years and this is hands down the worst storm I've ever experienced. I've never seen damage like this. Local meteorologists are estimating that it was at least an EF2 and it went through a very densely populated area. Hope there were no fatalities, but pictures coming in from North Dallas are showing homes that were just obliterated. Politics: Trump's presidency is a train wreck. Let US count the ways. Top comment: and many people predicted this back in 2016. And what is worse, too many still think he is doing a good job. News: a group representing Maine's lobstermen says it's now willing to work with the federal government on a plan to protect right whales after withdrawing its support for the plan this summer. Top comment: okay, so when ya say lobstermen, actually autocorrect realized it is already a word, so maybe it's me who is the dumbass. News: 4 killed in Bangladesh over Facebook post. Top comment: why are Muslims so easily offended when you talk about the guy? Christians get made fun of every day and they don't form mobs to lynch people. What about all the other religions whose followers don't do this? Politics: new DOJ doc shows McGahn and Don Jr. never testified in front of Mueller's grand jury. Top comment: that seems pretty fucking necessary. World News: this is oil country, newly painted Greta Thunberg mural gets defaced, covered in slurs, CBC News. Top comment: imagine feeling this threatened by a child, lol. News: Hong Kong protests, police fire water cannon with blue dye as crowds defy ban. Top comment: the *Blue Man Group * might want to avoid playing in Hong Kong or China for a while. But seriously, they're tagging people with ink now? Since when did this become a thing? Politics: Texas GOP congressman, Trump playing checkers while our enemies play chess. Top comment: I don't think he's smart enough to play checkers. Science: exercise could slow withering effects of Alzheimer's. Top comment: except we already know that these amyloid plaques don't cause Alzheimer's and removing them doesn't treat it, so this study doesn't help. Science: case report of a man who appeared drunk and was arrested for drunk driving even though he had never drunk alcohol. He was diagnosed with autobrewery syndrome, a rare condition where fungal yeast took over his gut microbiome after a course of antibiotics, which fermented carbohydrates to alcohol. Top comment. Technology, the delicate ethics of using facial recognition in schools. Top comment. I'm very sad that the only barrier to dystopia has been technology. We were warned for a long time, legislation could have nipped this in the bud, but now it's taking root. Unpopular opinion, follow your dreams and don't let anyone talk you out of it, is often terrible advice. Top comment. Most people are probably optimistic because they didn't follow their dreams, so when they hear someone thinking about doing it, they say you should. Who knows? LifeProTips, make it easier to push your shopping cart. Top comment. LPT, hit the back of your wife's ankles with the cart and you don't even have to push it at all. NottheOnion, police raids movies in Athens because minors were watching The Joker, keep talking Greece. Top comment. Politics, Trump can't stop bragging to foreign leaders about his resorts. Top comment. If you look at the faces of the world leaders when Trump is doing this, you can almost hear the Curb Your Enthusiasm music playing. Politics, Ocasio-Cortez says endorsing Sanders early is the most authentic decision she could make. Top comment. One politician with integrity and class consciousness, how rare is that, endorsing another at a key point in this race. Honestly, they're the two best elected officials in this nation, along with Ilhan Omar OFC, and you just love to see them having each other's back, and all three having the back of the workers in this country as well. NottheOnion, students in India given boxes to wear on their heads in a bid to stop cheating. Top comment. The gap between seating was too close for comfort. LifeProTips, if you feel hungry and it goes away immediately after, it usually means that you're thirsty. Top comment. After what eating? WorldNews, record melting seas. Swiss glaciers shrink 10% in 5 years. Glaciers in Switzerland have shrunk 10% in the past 5 years, a rate that has never been seen before in over a century of observations. Summer 2019 heatwave saw glacier melt rates break records, leading to huge losses in ice volume. Top comment. The last few summers the heat events have been insane. Mass animal death in Australia, wildfires in the Arctic Circle, extreme melt events like this. I've been noticing climate deniers switching to climate delaying, too. Shit like natural gas as a bridge fuel, or Canadian oil is more ethical than Saudi Arabian oil, so we have to keep producing it. Mind-boggling. NottheOnion, Boeing says it regrets concerns over internal messages. Top comment. NottheOnion, habitual runaway, emu captured in central Minnesota. Top comment. About damn time they got that fugitive. ShowerThoughts, you know a song is old when its comments section starts becoming a calendar. Top comment. Who's watching this in 2019 XD? Technology, Mars Insights Mole is moving again. Top comment. Great on NASA for making the best of the instruments that have available. Looks like this is turning out to be more difficult than expected. News, Qantas completes longest commercial flight NY to Sydney. Top comment. I did the 17-hour non-stop once from Atlanta to Johannesburg, packed airplane, smelly guy hogging the armrest next to me, no thanks. I'm good. Technology, Xiaomi says 10 more 5G phones coming in 2020. Top comment. WorldNews, crowd at Conservative rally in Ontario chanted, "Lock him up," when Scheer mentioned Trudeau. Some Conservative supporters in the room later told a Global National reporter that hearing the "Lock him up" chant made them feel uncomfortable. Top comment. Hardline conservatism needs to find new material. This is stale. WorldNews, Chile crisis, 7 dead, curfew imposed in 14 cities as government tries to face protests. Top comment. 2 hours and still hasn't made it past 100 upvotes. If this was Hong Kong, it'd be tears and candlelight vigils across the world. Politics, Justice Department confirms Trump Jr. and McGahn did not testify to grand jury. Top comment. Time to get him in one of the House subcommittees. Don Jr. will lie, of course, and y'all can throw him in jail. Technology, Amazon is shipping expired baby formula and other out-of-date foods. Top comment. Unless it's MREs, I think Amazon should have no place in shipping foods. News, habitual runaway, emu on the loose in central Minnesota. Top comment. This is a nice change of pace on the news tab, not gonna lie. News, China's defense minister says resolving Taiwan question is greatest national interest. Top comment, if Taiwan question is an actual quote translation, that is really bad phrasing. Till that South Korea formed a covert military unit in 1968 with the intention of assassinating North Korea's leader. Unemployed youths or petty criminals were recruited and trained on an uninhabited island for 3 years. The existence of the unit was covered up until the 1990s. Top comment, ironically enough, President Park Chung-hee of South Korea would be later by successfully assassinated by his own chief of intelligence, for basically no reason in particular. News, Venezuela's water system is collapsing. Top comment, and yet, Maduro will blame foreign capitalists for this. Somehow. Politics, Trump said it was time to bring our soldiers back home, from Syria. Instead, they're going to Iraq. Top comment, don't forget the soldiers recently sent to Saudi Arabia. Till about the emerald wasp. The wasp uses a special venom to prey on cockroaches. Once stung, the cockroach loses its free will and is led by the wasp to its burrow, where it will be buried and eaten alive by the wasp's larvae. Top comment, till I have a favorite wasp. Politics, the revenge of the State Department, as U.S. diplomats defy the President and the Secretary of State to testify before impeachment investigators, the being hailed as heroes by colleagues who've long felt abused. Top comment, obeying the law is a small hurdle, but one worthy of praise in this administration. Technology, IBM and Death's Calculator. Top comment, IBM was about to release its PS2 range in Australia back in 1987 with an advertising slogan of the final solution, when someone pointed out who had previously used the slogan. Fairly sure it's been used a few times since then by similarly clueless advertising executives in other companies without being caught also. Unpopular opinion, a rape victim has the responsibility to report to help prevent the perpetrator's next victims from being raped. Top comment, disagree. It's scary as hell to report and it can just make things worse for the person who was raped. Some people want to forget it and move on. They shouldn't feel forced to become a warrior and advocate to prevent it from happening to someone else. WorldNews, Chile, 3 die after supermarket set on fire by demonstrators, while many flights into the city's airport were suspended as crew were unable to get to work. Top comment, that was just the spark that ignited everything, inequality here is severe. But I highly doubt these protests were spontaneous. There's political motivation behind it. What's important is to separate protesters from vandals. Most protests here are unfortunately infiltrated by a bunch of extremists that take advantage of the situation to destroy and loot. Absolutely embarrassing to watch. Till George Washington Carver was accepted to Highland Presbyterian College, Kansas, in 1880. But upon arrival to begin studies and the school realizing they'd accidentally accepted an African American, they revoked his acceptance. Top comment, good thing too, at Simpson College, his art teacher Etta Budd, seeing his talent for painting flowers and plants, encouraged him to study botany at Iowa State Agricultural College in Ames, where he received a bachelor's degree in agricultural science in 1894 and a Master of Science degree in 1896. Shower thoughts, there must be at least several thought to be deadbeat dads that went out for a pack of smokes and never came back that were actually devoted fathers who loved their children, but had something happen to them along the way that resulted in an untraceable death, thereby tarnishing their legacy forever. Top comment, happened to a family friend. They lived in this belief for decades, until he turned up murdered in the woods. A landslide uncovered his remains. Technology, Rocket Lab plans to send payloads to the moon. Top comment. Futurology, the disruption of augmented reality in the manufacturing industry. Top comment. Shower thoughts, unborn children are wearing their mother's body as a Halloween costume. Top comment, who's been saying that there's another person inside of me, working me with controls, Kevin. Science, lab-grown meat, scientists grew rabbit and cow muscles cells on edible gelatin scaffolds that mimic the texture and consistency of meat, demonstrating that realistic meat products may eventually be produced without the need to raise and slaughter animals. Top comment, are cows and chicken going to go extinct? There are going to be some confusing protests in our future. Technology, absence of Google apps hurting Huawei the most, ET Telecom. Top comment, and yet they still refuse to unlock the bootloader. Obviously they aren't hurting enough. LifeProTips: store your peanut butter jars upside down. By the time you get to it, the hard to mix parts of the peanut butter will be against the lid and much easier to mix. Top comment: Op must buy fancy peanut butter or something. The cheap stuff I buy is very thick and there's nothing to mix. Unethical Life Pro Tips: rent a new iPhone from a retailer for a few weeks. Top comment: try going through Amazon. Technology, sharing is caring, once described piracy, but things have probably changed. Top comment: science, a fluke find, uncovering an evolutionary oddity in the guts of herbivorous fish. Top comment: I thought this was a pretty cool example of how evolution works and the surprising places it shows up as we continue to research the animal kingdom. It's yet another brick in the already strong foundations of evolutionary theory too. All in all, a good find by the researchers here. Unpopular opinion: Reddit has officially been invaded with obnoxious, unoriginal, karma-whoring kids and many subs have suffered. Top comment: there's too many kids on the internet in general. ShowerThoughts: everybody who watched The Good Place is gonna be super suspicious for the first few months in heaven. Top comment: let's be real, the best anyone here on Reddit can hope for is the medium place. Unethical Life Pro Tips: discounted delivered food. Yes please. Top comment: if you do this enough times, they take away your right to credits from bad food or missing items. There was a racial underpinning to the German-Japanese alliance during World War II. The Nazis, from Hitler on down, actually viewed the history of the Japanese people as superior to the German. Top comment: so this confirms that Hitler was a weeb. Unpopular opinion: celebrity worship culture is extremely weird and unhealthy. Top comment: agreed. I'd gaff a fuck about Tom Cruise coming to my city. At the end of the day, when Taylor Swift walks by me at the store, my life ain't changing. She's still super rich, I'm still broke. Ain't shit change lol. Science: e-cigarettes could help more than 50,000 smokers quit in the UK every year. Top comment: if it weren't for e-cigs, I would have never quit smoking. I quit cigarettes 6 years ago, used the E for a year and have been nicotine-free since then. They're getting a bad rep because of teen use, especially in the US, and it's such a shame they weren't regulated better. Science: chronic rhinosinus may soon be treatable with medication. Chronic rhinosinus (CRS) is a condition treatable only with the aid of surgery. However, new medical research explores treatment through the use of medication. Top comment: it's not treatable only by surgery, there are many medical therapies that work well. WorldNews: Erin Brockovich sounds alarm over PFAS contamination after more sites revealed. ABC News: Australian Broadcasting Corporation. Top comment: good, we needed a sequel. Thanks for watching, listening. Don't forget to subscribe.